Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We have seen quite a bit of a sell-off. Bitcoin did not follow the imminently bullish scenario. Unfortunately, it turned to the downside earlier today. A few hours ago, I was already able to update the channel members again on Telegram, Discord. If you join as a channel member, silver or gold member, you can now also access my live charts. So whenever I update these, you can actually see it. And I did adjust the chart obviously as we lost critical support levels. It has changed the imminent scenario, and I have to at the moment just assume that we have not finished this 1-2 setup yet. That was so far the plan. So in the preview I've changed the chart now obviously to account for the latest moves and to show you basically, to show you the latest target. So there are basically two imminent possibilities that I want to take you through here. But first of all, where do we come from? So again, from when we came down here to 17,500, 17,600, since then we could count fives to the upside, which means impulsive waves to the upside. And we can still, even that small sell-off today, which to be fair looks big if you zoom in, but actually it's nothing that would be unusual for crypto. It's nothing that is out of the ordinary. You get these volatile movements, especially a day before the CPI data release. And again, certain short-term reactions, possibly already before the CPI data release, they are expected. That's why I mentioned in the earlier video, expect some volatility. Unfortunately, the volatility went down and smashed the imminently bullish scenario into pieces. However, this doesn't change anything in the overall wave count here, not at all. Even the probabilities don't change at all. So when I always said to you, or at least since I made it my primary expectation that since we could count these impulsive waves to the upside, that the trend is now pointing to the upside. Of course, this can still change. Bitcoin currently does not perform too well compared, for example, to Ethereum. But at the moment, the bullish scenario still has a 60% probability. That hasn't changed at all. I will consider to change it if we break out of this sort of flag to the downside. I mentioned that before. If we lose here the $20,700 level, this would seriously put into question the bullish scenario. But for now, we can remain carefully bullish. I always have to add that. As we can count here a crystal clear impulsive wave to the upside, a wave 1. We then came down in 3 waves, A, B, C in a wave 2. We then moved up in another wave 1, came down in a 2, and then we moved up in another wave 1. And until today, the assumption was, that obviously this year was a wave 1, which the assumption hasn't changed about that, but that this was already the completion of the wave 2 and that we would already move up in a wave 3. Now, clearly, that was not the case. Well, it could still be the case, to be honest. It could still be the case because we have not yet taken out the low that you can see down here. We have not taken out that low at 22,400. If we go below that level, then we will go lower into this green area that I get to in a minute. As long as we hold above that level, it could theoretically be that we are from here going higher in that third wave still. So it hasn't completely invalidated the view that this was a wave 1, an impulse, and we came down in a 2. So theoretically, we could still be in a 3. And within that 3, we've done another 1-2 setup. But this structure here, what is coming down from that swing low at 22,400 all the way to the peak here does not really confirm that, because now that we have come down, this doesn't really look like a crystal clear 5-wave move. Actually, it looks more like a 3-wave move, and therefore I decided to go with this scenario now, which assumes that the wave 2 that I had here before, the wave 2 low, that this isn't finished yet. Of course, I could count it as a 1-2, a 1-2, theoretically still another 1-2, but it's getting unrealistic, right? So therefore, I decided to go, this was a wave 1, this hasn't changed at all, that we, from this wave 2, only now made a wave A, that was a 3-wave move, a wave B, and we're now coming down in a wave C. That is an impulsive move in 5 waves, and that would ideally, yeah, take us into this green area. Why? Well, if we take a look at the Fibonacci levels, let me just do this. Let me just double check that. No, 1 second. This is based on, not on this. This is based on the, just double check that. Maybe that moved accidentally, or let me check that. All right, yeah, no. This is based, this target range is based on the 1-to-1 ratio of the wave A and the 1.618 extension. So somewhere in this region I would expect this move to go. It should not go lower than that wave, so we actually have to be a bit higher. So somewhere into the region between 22k now and 20,750. That's where I would expect that wave 2 to go before it reverses up in a wave 3. That is still what I can expect at the moment, until we break below 20,700, that swing low, because that would again put into question the bullish scenario. So that means there is some short-term weakness now in the chart. We have created here this wave A to the downside, this wave B to the upside, and we're now coming down in the wave C with an ideal scenario where the wave C will end below the wave A and will at least make the 1-to-1 ratio of the wave A. Okay, and that would then be that 22k level pretty much. And that's where we are currently working on. So we came down quite impulsively, and that again would confirm the view here that this is actually the C wave of a wave 2. However, we have not yet made 5 waves. As you can see here, we've done 3 waves so far, and therefore we have not yet the very crystal clear bearish evidence that we would need for this scenario. So I just have to tell you as well, it's not crystal clear yet. We only have made 3 waves down so far. But if this carries on and we'll make those 5 waves, or yeah, could be that we make 5 waves and this will only be the first wave of the downtrend, whatever. But I just have to add to this that we have only made 3 waves so far. So at the moment this is just an assumption, yeah, that we come into this area. It's not guaranteed at all. But overall, the view here, and that's sort of the message of this video, this, let's say, dump today has not changed anything in the overall scenario here on the chart. This can still be, and still in my opinion is, the beginning of an uptrend. I have to say to that obviously Bitcoin doesn't look as strong as Ethereum at the moment. It is not performing as well, and I really would like to see something moving here to confirm this bullish scenario. It's not, yes, it's taking long, but it's not yet that we have to get concerned about Bitcoin. This can, however, and that's why we still have a 40% bearish probability, this could still be a corrective move up in a WXY, which I showed you before, from bit like that, WX and then Y, yeah, where we could have already started the sell-off. That's possible, and I said that before, therefore we give it still a 40% probability. This means that at the moment things are far from clear. We can be carefully optimistic that the low is already in, but it's in no way guaranteed, and there is still a significant downside potential as well. Everybody who's currently in the market just needs to understand that. I always want to be honest with you. There's no point in moonboy hype here, yeah, in creating false hopes. I always want to be honest with you. So I'd always tell you as good as I can the latest price forecast, short term, long term. And here we just have to say that while the trend is currently for me pointing to the upside, it is still very, very much risk in terms of there could be a 40% chance still to make a lower low below 17,600. However, more probability is on the upside, and therefore I'm leaning towards the bullish count at the moment. The fact that we've seen a bit more of a retracement today than originally expected is not unusual, and that is also not dismissing here any bullish counts really. Okay, and that's my update. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.